Hey, we're Saints. Father Chris here. Welcome to our Crucifixional live stream. Glad to have you beautiful people with us. I'm going to tell you what happened to me last weekend. I was so excited on Friday, this past Friday. I had a new air conditioning unit installed in my home, and it was replacing one that was bad. And, like when you work with vendors and with tradesmen, it's often that, nightmares ensue. Sometimes it's hard to do what they got to do in tight places and, things don't work, all that kind of stuff. But very often they tell you one time, and it ends up being much later. Or they tell you today and it ends up being 2 days later. And they make a mess and all the rest that goes with it. I had, and I shouldn't even say the words, I'm going to knock on wood behind me, but like the most beautiful experience with these two guys. And let me first shout them out. If you're in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area and you need electricity and you need HVAC, hit me up, because Jose and Lowell are unbelievable. And I say that like from my heart. I texted Jose, he was supposed to come at 8. And it was, 7:51 a.m. And I was saying, you know what? Maybe I can jump in the shower really quickly. So I texted him. I said, where are you? Just like this. Like I was going to say, so that if he comes to the door, I can answer it. He says, I'm outside waiting till 8 o'clock. And I'm like, what? I mean, that never happens, right? It just, he's waiting. He was respectful. He told me 8. He's early, so he's going to wait till 8. But I was like, holy cow, that never happens. The other gentleman, Lowell, who he did the HVAC work. I mean, his work was clean. His work was fast. It was efficient. We tried the AC unit after he got it connected. I mean, it's amazing, blowing really cool air. And then the heating part blows really hot air. And I'm like, now I'm rambling, but I wanted to share with you that one of the things that they said to me, and they both said it independently. I like to work the way that I said that I'll work. Jose said those words to me. He said, look, if I tell you I'm going to do something on some day, I want to do that very thing on that very day at the very time I told you. And I was like blown away. Now, the funny part about it is, really, should we be blown away by that? But if you're honest, you know that we all encounter people that are not like that. And maybe, unfortunately, some of us are like that ourselves. It brings to mind this beautiful text from Matthew chapter 5, which is in the middle of the Sermon on the Mount, or towards the beginning, in verse 37. He says, look, Jesus, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Say what you're going to say and mean it, and then do it. If you say it, do it, right? And anything more is the end of the rest of the verse. Anything more than this is from evil. So Christ is telling us here, I think, a very powerful, but also should be common sense, which ain't so common, maxim. Look, if you say it, do it. Honor your word. And as Greg and I were working through this, we're like, what is the word to describe that? Like honor, integrity, acting with integrity. It also comes to us, into our minds, like thinking just about honoring the word. Like I'm giving truth to the things I say so that my words are not idle. They're not empty. Right? And this is something that all of us as warrior saints, I'm begging you got to strive for it. If you say it, you got to do it. I know that it's not always easy to do that. I know that sometimes it is very, life presents a lot of challenges and chaos in and of itself. Perhaps in order to not feel the crunch of all the commitments we make, maybe not to make so many commitments, right? I mean, do you ever tend to get overscheduled and therefore overstressed and therefore unable to do the things that you say you're going to do and to honor the commitments that you make and make your word have flesh around the bones? If you do, you ain't alone. When you visit warriorsaints.org, you're going to be able to subscribe to the way of the warrior saint. Now, we've got all kinds of stuff up there. I mean, it's a teaching program to teach us how to live the Word of God in our lives. We got one series called Understanding the Bible. That's teaching us to understand the Bible so we can understand the Word of God. The Way of the Warrior Saint teaches us how to live the Word of God. We have courses in there, lessons, I should say, on time management, how to say no, how to make your yes a yes, so that when you do say yes or you do say no, your yes is a yes and your no is a no. That's it. Join us. Get on the way. Let's get ourselves in the right place. We will actually be back tomorrow. Love ya. Till then, as always, keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.